Hey guys, Camma here. I haven't done a video for you guys in quite a while. This is not a VOD review like we usually do. This is a couple of situations from a couple of games I got in some maps I played against Lure the other day. And him and I watched a couple of these maps back together. And there's a few situations that that I did a lot different to what he probably would have done. And I just want to explain to you guys the logic behind what I'm thinking, as well as the tangible things that are different and the intangible things that are different. Because certain situations, the order that you pick up the items with and the timing on when you go for your damage compared to when you don't go for your damage, it is important. And I think it's something that a lot of guys, just make sure, it is something that a lot of guys overlook. I find even at the top level, there's certain players, I'm not going to name any names, but even at the very top level, I watch and I see certain players and they're always going for the items before their damage, and they're not getting the maximum effect out of the items because of that. And it doesn't always cost you, but that extra 30 health or 40 health that it makes a difference for, it does end up making a difference in the fights, especially when someone is good, because then every last little bit of health that you can eke out, it's important. Anyway, I've got a situation here. I go up this jump out here and kill Lou with LG, and then I wait around for Mega. I get some rail damage in towards rail, and then I'm weak. I have to back off towards the LG and the banana there to get health, and I come back to top mid, and then I want to see what you guys would do in that situation, and then I'll explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, and we'll see the result of it afterwards, and we'll go through the mathematics of why it is better to do the order I'm doing it in than probably what you're doing in your games. So let's have a look. So I killed him. I told you, yeah, it wasn't quite strong enough. So we looked to deny rockets. Then we hear him go towards rail. One rail here is good. I don't know when Mega is in this situation, so I'm listening now to see what he's up to. Oh, he's not there. I don't mind backing off from this Mega to go get the health bubbles and that, simply because if he knows when the Mega is he's coming to attack you, he probably has the advantage if he's already got red armor and coming back. If he doesn't know exactly when it is and he thinks you're waiting on it, he probably won't go for it anyway. So you can get these health bubbles and get the armor and come back to center map, which is what happens. I hit a rail on him towards red armor. Nice shot. And I want to ask you guys, what would you do from this position here? And to me, it is very important what you do. Okay, Mega is up. We know we've hit that rail on him. He's got red armor, so he's probably about 150 health total, right? I want to ask you guys, what would you do? Would you jump towards Mega, grab Mega, and then look to attack your opponent? The top green is up next to you. So would you do that? Would you go for Mega and then look to attack? Or would you push out on the map, look to get some damage and pin your opponent in, and then pick up your items? We are 172 health, which is dead in 2 rails, but yeah, I just want to ask the question to you guys, what would you do in your games here? And I reckon the answer, what most of you would do, is you'd see that Mega and you'd jump for that Mega. And I believe that's a mistake. And the reason being is, mathematically, in terms of your health, it's a mistake, but also in terms of general strategy to be able to deal damage onto your opponent. You have to understand, when you go for Mega here, not only does it allow your opponent more time to get away from his position that he was in, whether he wants to head back to LG through rockets, or he wants to camp towards the rail, or whatever he wants to do, he has more time and less pressure to be able to do what he wants to do in the situation if you go to Mega. The other and the more important thing is, if he gets damage on you after you get Mega, then that's bleeding away at your health. The other small factor, we won't go too much into the mathematics of this, but it is a factor that you need to consider, especially when you're a light. The health drain that you lose when you get that Mega, it's significant because it drains so quickly, your overstack. So picking that Mega up early and then not knowing where he is, waiting around, going slowly, walking around, trying to work out what he's up to, that's going to cost you health in the long run. And it might not cost you more than 5-10 health. But 5-10 health can be a big difference, especially when you get the frag on a very low amount of health, and then you've got to defend yourself for the next life. So what I'm looking to do in this sort of position always is flush the map out, work out where he is, what he's doing. So push to center map, listen. If I can hear him coming towards rail or threading him on Mega, then of course I will jump back and grab the Mega. If I can't hear that, then we'll go out to top mid and we'll foray and try and work out what he's doing. Reason being is because we know we've got this health bubble, this green armors here, and we really don't want him to get those, because if he happens to get onto them when we're at Mega or when we're going into Cuddy to have a look at rail or whatever we're doing, he can grab them and he can fall back to defend the next red using those armors to stack back up to 100. And when he's 100, that's a lot harder to deal with than he's when he's 150. Reason being, for the obvious reason, is that he's no longer railable in 2 rails. But that extra 50 armour, especially when you're a light, playing against a light as ranger or something with your orb, whatnot, that extra 50 armour for the staying power that you get in that next fight, especially if he hits the initial damage on you when you're attacking, it's a huge difference. So, we want to be able to get this green. We don't want to pick up straight away because obviously it's going to give us 3 armour. What we want to do is push out off the item, get a little bit of damage that we can, grab the armour, grab the mega, and then look to attack. And the main reason for that is there is no armour that he can get and then still be back in time to defend red without us putting massive pressure on him. He can't restack any damage that we deal to him now. But any damage that he deals to us, we're pretty much going to get back off our mega and our green. That's not going to be the case if we grab mega first and then take damage though. So then, if you take mega first, then take the green, for example, and then you get railed, well, you're only, what are you? You'll be 175, 240, you'd be like 130 health, maybe a little bit more, 150 health. And then you're trying to attack his item when he's stronger than you now, or at least equally strong, in position with an orb and whatnot. You're not going to be able to attack his red armor. I know the red armor's not coming out for a little while, but that's still what you're thinking about when it comes to the next kill. So let's watch the end of the clip. I end up pushing down the stairs. I don't hit my rail. He hits me. But that's okay. You'll see the difference in the stacks. We'll go through the mathematics of it. So right now, just remember we're at 172 health. So just looking to work out. Okay, I got back. Now the reason I hooked is because I wasn't certain. I mean, I probably could have just got around the corner anyway, but I wasn't certain I was going to be able to get around the corner without getting railed again. Obviously, I'm railable now. But okay, we missed that rail. Sometimes you go for your damage and you don't get it. But imagine we hit that rail. He's probably about 150 health now. That means maximum by the time we get all our items and come back, he's going to be 100 health maximum. That's if he picks up the health bubble next to him and then quickly goes to get the one in the rail room and then heads back to red armor. Which he might not even be able to be that quick to even do that. So he's going to be crippled, and we can take advantage of that by grabbing our items now and heading back to red armor and killing him. So look, now we're up to 232 health, or 235 health, yeah. Oh shit, LG, but see, because he hit that rail on us as well, and this is where I'll go into the intangibles in a minute. But let's go back to the mathematics first. So, we are 172 when we come to this point in time, right? If we go to mega now, by the time we find him and fight, we'll be 170 health because of the bleed down, and we'll be 72 armor still because we won't be able to pick up that green. We won't pick up that green. Then when we get railed, we'll be. I got the maths written down on your face over here before I fucked it up on the recording. After we get railed, we'll be 140 and 62 for a total of 202 health when we're looking to attack now. Right? The other thing is, when he rails you and you're 202 health, he still knows where you are now. He knows where you're attacking from. He knows everything. Whereas once we go back, we try to rail him and go back to mega, he sort of loses track of exactly where we're going now. Are we coming to him from lower mid? Are we going through a teleporter and attacking from a rocket launcher? What if we're coming from near railgun? And we can do that as Athena as well, you know what I mean? So that makes a big difference. But in terms of mathematics, we would be 202 health by the time we look to attack him. But if you pick up if you're 70 and 12 after you get railed, you can pick up the health bubble, and then you can pick up the mega, and then you'll be, by the time you attack, you can see we're 173.62, which is 235 health, which is about 30 to 35 health extra than what you, sorry, I had a bit of a cough. That's about 35 health extra than what you would have been in the other order. And that's not even taking into account all those intangibles, like him not knowing where we are now, what we're doing. It also doesn't take into account the fact that he doesn't know when mega is either now. Have we already got it when we railed him? Or did we go back for it? What did we do? What's mega doing for the next cycle? I don't know. You know what I mean? And there are some players very good at this sort of play. Dandy King is probably one of the best at it. And the way I look at it is it's about limiting information that your opponent has whilst keeping it all for yourself. You know when mega is because you took it. But he doesn't know when mega is because, one, he didn't hear it, it's on the side of the map. And he knows you pushed out. Did he push out when he wasn't that strong? I don't think he would do that. He must have had mega first. And if he must have had mega first, I already railed him. He can't attack me at red. So you know what I can do? I can go grab the health bubbles and go grab armor, and I can just jump along over to above red and defend it when he comes through the teleporter. No, Lua, you can't, because I haven't got mega yet. Now I've got mega, and you're unaware that I'm attacking because you think you hit this rail on me. I can't attack. but I can, and I have, and now you're dead. And that's where that difference in the items makes a huge difference. You can see even just off the mathematics alone, 35 health is a big difference in a stacked fight. And you guys might say, oh, it's not that much difference, Cam. Ask yourself this question. If you finish a kill on 1 health, die hard. If you finish a kill on 1 health, what would... and then you get the health bubble above red armor there, presuming that it's still there, and the 2 shards, you're then, what, 46 health. How easy it is to defend yourself with 2 rails against a charge with LG on 46 health, waiting for the red armor, saying, please don't attack, please don't attack, please don't attack. It's very difficult. But how much easier is it when you have that extra 35 health? You've got 90 health, say, instead of 46. Oh, let's make it 80. You got 81 health instead of 46. He can't really cess you down anymore because you'll be able to shoot 3 rails by the time he kills you, and you only have to hit 2 to kill him. So if you just maintain your distance correctly. So that 35 health makes a huge difference, especially now that the 2 armor shards are easily collectible and it's worth 20 armor. Refrag defense is a lot more important. It is a little bit easier, but the 35 health, makes all the difference in terms of whether you're going to be able to survive his refrag or not. And the perfect time to get kills in Quake Champions is on their refrag, because that means you killed them again, they lost all the items that are on their side of the map, because now you can go get them because you killed them and they're spawning behind you now, and then you can go to Mega and take your time and do whatever you want. So you can see it makes a huge difference. And it goes back to this bit of a YouTube conversation I had with a fella on one of my other videos, and we were talking about red armor, and in all my videos I'm always talking about why red armor is better, and he didn't really understand why. And I sort of said to him, it's because when you have overstack health, like you get from Mega, like we see in that example, even when we got railed in the first example, we're 140 and 62, so we can't pick up health bubbles still. But when you've got red armor 100, right, there's 2 advantages of it. One, you don't, unless you're a light, you do, but unless you're a light, you don't bleed stack on 100. You both your health and your armor are settled at 100. They don't take cool down over time. But the bigger thing is that when you take damage, when you have 100 as opposed to 175-25, you don't you can pick up the health bubbles along the map to restack your health. So they become like pickups in between the fights to be able to get stacked quickly, because you can pick up the armors and the health. And you guys will notice in your games, you'll know the feeling that I'm talking about. Just think about when you fight someone who has 175 health only, and that's all they've got. They don't have any armor. And then you try to fight them. They feel so soft. Even if you don't kill them in that initial fight, when you fight them again, they're still quite weak. And the reason for that is because after you hit that first bit of damage on them, and they're 110 health still, they couldn't pick up any health bubbles to stack up their health. They're going to pick up armor. And the armor's every 30 seconds. In Quake Champions now, the health bubbles are every 15 seconds. So they're always there almost. So what you need to be doing is trying to overstack your armor, and then you get the mega health after a kill, or when you've got time, or when you have no other choice, because you can't get to the red armor. So all I'm trying to say is I'm not saying always get red. I'm just saying when we have the choice between the two, we want to get red and deal damage on mega. That's how we want to play the game, because then we can pick up the health bubbles in between the fights. Whereas alternatively, if you're, like I said, the biggest example, I've got it written down on my phone, so I took some screenshots. I'll just have a quick look. I had this conversation with this fella on YouTube. Here we go. I'll just read it out what I said, because it is important. I reckon a lot of blokes don't understand it. One sec. Oh yeah. So there's a fellow called Armin Unra, and he said, "Thanks a lot. Do you mind answering a question I have? Why did you say in your last video you should go for red armor in general rather than mega on all maps? Maybe I misunderstood though. I always go for mega rather than red on all maps." And I said, "No problem. There are actually many reasons for this. The most obvious is when you're not already strong, picking up red armor will give you 100, whereas mega will only give you 175. And you guys know that in your games, because when you spawn in and get mega, it only gives you 50 extra health. Whereas red armor will always give you 100 extra health when you just spawn in, no matter what champion you are. Whereas mega will only get you up to 175. For example, if you're 150, red will give you to 100, 150, but mega will give you to 175, 50, which is overall less. And you guys already know that. What you might not know, I think a lot of players do know this, but they don't know it. They're not thinking about it actively. And when Lua and I watch these games, I said to him, bro, you love Mega too much. And I can just see that in your play. And I've always thought, even in Quake Live, blokes who love Mega, they're bad. The pros, they want red armor, man, because that's what you get. That's how you get around the map. That's what you use to use the health bubbles to your advantage, so you can quickly stack back up between the fights. And that extra 50 health that you pick up from the 2 health bubbles, he has to get armor, and then he has to go out of his way for health bubbles, or take damage to get health bubbles. He still can't pick them up. Anyway, then I continued on. The other reason, and the more important of the two in my opinion, is that when you have mega health, you cannot use health bubbles as pickups. For example, if you're 100 and you get railed, you're now 70-40, and you can pick up both health bubbles and armor, which are usually next to each other or near each other. If you're 175 and 25 and you get railed, you're 110 health, and you cannot pick up a health bubble still, only armors. This is especially important because QC health bubbles are 15 seconds. I said 10 seconds in the comment, but I was wrong. So they're almost always up after a fight. Hope that explains it enough. And he said, thanks for the explanation, I will try it out. I always did the opposite because I thought health is more important than armor. If you have 1 health and 100 armor, you die with any shot. Of course, that's correct. But if you have 100 health and 1 armor, you can take a direct rocket. And I said to him, you are correct with what you're saying. In that case, obviously you want mega and not red. I'm talking about when we have a clear choice over what we're trying to go for. Circumstance might change what we have to go for in a given moment. I'm talking about our general strategy. I can always tell someone who's playing bad when they're always in love with mega. I forgot to mention as well that all this doesn't even take into account health decay. In the above example, when you are railed at 70-40, neither your health or armor is decaying. But when you're 110 health, your health is still decaying. In addition to that, armor is 66% of damage, right? So getting red means you're less likely to have decaying health or armor after taking damage as opposed to after mega, where if you have any amount of armor, you'll almost always have decaying health. Just some food for thought in general strategy. So I just wanted to explain that to you guys, and this is an example of it. This is more to do with mega health rather than red armor itself, but you get the idea. Because a lot of guys don't realise that, yeah, those health bubbles that you pick up on the map, think about it in CK, and you guys will know from when you play your games. On CK, when someone has red armor and you deal damage to them around red armor, and then they pick up all the health bubbles that are there, the 75 health bubbles you can quickly get, you know, the health bubble on that little platform and then the 2 inside the plasma room, they're fucking strong as after that. They could be 25, 100, right? At 25, 100, and then they pick up those 75 health instantly. They're 100 now. Like within 3 seconds of within 3 seconds of leaving that teleporter, they're 100, right? Whereas you, if you've got mega and you're 175, 25, how do you get up to the same amount of health as they on? You need 2 separate armors. Even 1 armor won't give you up to that amount. You know what I mean? If you're 125, you can't pick up health. So you're actually the same health as he is. He's 25, 100. And he can pick up all 3 health bubbles quickly. You're 125, and you can't pick up shit because there's way less health. There's no health bubbles, no armor that's up for you because they're every 30 seconds. Whereas the health bubbles are every 15 seconds, so always there. That's why you want to be trying to get red armor whenever you can, and not mega. Like I said, I'm happy to let my opponent for the most part get mega on most maps. Depends on the map, of course, but on most maps, I'll get damage on them on their mega, and I'll get the armors for myself because I want red armor. That's what I want. Same with when I'm playing 2s with Fraser and that. I used to always say, where's red? I want red. Tell me when red is. That's all I care about. I don't care about mega, bro. They can have mega. It's fine. I want red armor. So that's the end of the first situation. So you can see there, just a bit of an example. Just think about the order that you're going for your damage and you're going for your items. It does depend what he's doing and what time his item is up. But it is very, very important. Because you can see that 35 health difference. And that's the measured difference. You can clearly see the difference in health. But it's also the confusion that it brings into his mind over when the items are, what I'm doing. He got this damage on me, now he thinks I'm weak and he lets his guard down. All these different factors come into play when you do the items like this. Because what will happen next time is he'll leave the red because he's weak, or he'll get the red and then he'll go plonk himself on mega. And then I can move around the map with freedom, knowing that mega's not coming up for another 15 seconds compared to what he thought it was, because I went for the damage first. So that's really important. Alright, we'll get into the next video. 4305. Alright. So this is on CK. This one's not so much about the item order. It's about pushing out for damage when your opponent doesn't have the weapons to be able to deal with you and you're waiting for your armor to spawn. This was actually a really well constructed frag that I got. And I remember watching it on Lewis' stream, he was raging hard about it. But the fact is, if you watch, and we watched this together and he even agreed, I outplayed him completely in this situation. And I hit this nice try ball on him towards Rocket. And he said to me, I bet you thought you were hot shit when you hit that one, Cam. And I said, yeah, I did, but so did you. He reckons he was thinking about it all day at work the next day. And I get like that sometimes as well, but when I'm trying to get better at something, or even in Quake in the past, even when you're at work, when you're in the shower, you're thinking about, even when you're fucking asleep, you're thinking about how you can get better. Not that it's like super important to you. It is important to me, but it's not like everything. But you're thinking about how can I get better all the time, just as a personal challenge. You know what I mean? Even if it's just that. Excuse me. That's water. Rightio. So I get the frag here, and then I want you guys to have a look at. I think I made a little bit of a mistake. I let him get into the LG and whatnot, but I want you guys to pay attention to what I do once I grab the lower green armour, head back to banana, and red's about to come spawn in. I want you to pay attention to what I'm doing and ask yourself the question: would you do the same? Go on the jump pad. Right, nice try ball. Alright. So I like to drop down here off that spawn sometimes, because especially when you know the green armor's up, because they're going to get plasma on the timing, and by the time you turn up, they're already going to be dropping down for the green armor. So I like to just drop down straight away, so that way you get damage on the green armor if they go for it. If they grab plasma and go up top, then you can grab the green armor yourself, it's fine. Whereas if you go up top and they drop down bottom, they get green, they get plasma, and they get to lower mid, you can't really get them anymore. That's what I like to do. Obviously he didn't spawn there, but it's fine. Now I wanted to ask you guys a question. What would you do in this situation? You know red's coming up in about 5 seconds. You know he probably spawned a rocket launcher and you can't hear him traversing across the map to try and attack you with rockets. What would you do? Would you sit on red? Would you go through the teleporter and then see what's going on through there? It's not a terrible thing to do, but you're probably not going to get as much damage as what I get here. And you're not going to be able to listen to what he's doing. If he chooses tuck, you're not getting any damage. And that's if he's not got good spam towards the tele exit, which he might have as you come through. He's already got rocket launcher, so he might have some good spam down. By the time you come through, you take 100 damage. And then he probably can't still attack you, but close. Especially if he's pushing in as the rocket hits you, he almost pretty much can. So I'd ask yourself, what are you guys going to do here? Or are we going to push to lower mid, try and get some damage with tri-bolt, heavy machine gun, whatnot, and hold him up so that we can just chip away at him a little bit. Same situation we were in before, where we're looking for damage before our items. Are we going to try and do that? Because I reckon most of you, a lot of the less experienced blokes, I reckon what you actually do is just plonk yourself on red, not even go through the teleporter, you just plonk yourself on red. And the problem with when you do that is he gets the rocket launcher, he gets the LG, he's probably got his green armour soon, and then he's the one pinning you in at red armour, whereas if you push out, you're the one pinning him in at Mega and LG and whatnot. And Fraser's the best player I've ever played against that does this. He knows you've gone for your item, you're just sitting there, and he just slinks in. And on this map, what he'll do is he'll just tuck himself in on top mid, so when he comes to the teleporter, he's just there with his rocket launcher. Or when you jump lowers, he's just above with his rocket launcher, and he only needs a rocket launcher 150 health. And he's going to get big. If he doesn't outright frag you when you're charging him into top mid, he's going to make it very fucking difficult to you and get good damage on you and get away towards Mega, and then he's in the ascendancy all because of his position. So I always explain it to to lure like it's a game of chicken almost. Like you're both trying to get in, slink in on the other guy's item to get damage, and whoever pulls out for their item and gets scared first, the other guy's going to slink in and put pressure on. That's not always the case if you've already dealt enough damage such that he can't push up, which is why I'm showing you guys what I'm about to show you, where you put enough damage on him before your item, so that even when you drop to your item, he still can't come in and put pressure on you because he's not strong enough. So to the point where he runs the extreme risk of dying if you're there. So that's something that's really important. And like I said, Fraser's absolute best player I've ever seen, especially on CK this map, because his rockets are extremely strong. And it's so frustrating when he does it too. You think, oh, I just dropped a red armor because red armor's coming in 3 or 4 seconds. I can't see anything on the map. He's probably hiding at LG or waiting for me or whatever. and then you're just sitting on a red armour happily, and all of a sudden you hear this guy attacking you across this bridge here, and then the first rocket's at your foot, and then he's dropping down for the red armour as he's pushing you through the teleport, and you're thinking, why are you doing that for, cunt? Fuck you, you're a noob. But the fact is, you dropped a red armour too early, he knew you dropped a red armour too early, and he pushed in to make some pressure on you. So that's why you can't drop. It's similar situation happens a lot on Blood Covenant, probably in your games too. You're fighting someone from quad, right? From quad damage, where it is, and then they're fighting you from bridge, right? And then they drop to red armour, and you can push into bridge to harass them at red armour, slow them up, get some damage on them so that you can fall back to mega afterwards. Whereas the opposite can be true for the guy on bridge. He'll act like he's dropping off to bridge, but he'll actually still be up on the top on the left-hand side there. And then just as you charge forward to rockets, he just pops out and rails your LGs the shit out of you. And now you're either dead outright or you're crippled to the point you can no longer continue peeking him at red armour. And then he can get red armour. You haven't slowed him up for mega. You haven't made him take his time traversing the map because you're too weak. You have to go get all your health bubbles and shit. So then by the time he leaves red and gets to the other side of the map towards mega, and you're sitting on it, you're dead. So that's where that game of chicken I keep talking about really comes into its fore. And you only really notice it in players that are playing at a high level. Because the problem is against shitters, or newer players I should say, is that they tend to like leave each other alone they tend to leave each other alone on the items, you know what I mean? So like he'll drop to red and he'll drop to mega, and they'll just sit there like waiting 5 seconds for each item on both items. You don't tend to see that so much in higher level games. Certainly not with players who are focused on damage and not on items. You see some professional players, they just go item to item, Pac-Man style. I don't think it's a wrong way to play, but it's not taking the maximum out of your stack, you know what I mean? And putting pressure on an opponent as maximum as what you can. So we'll have a look at this situation now. So we know he's probably going to go get LG, and red armor's coming up in a sec. Just watch what I do. I don't just wait on red armor. I'm looking to get big damage here because he doesn't really have a chance to return any damage to me. I've got Tri-Bolt. He's got heavy machine gun, but I'm not really going to give him an angle where he can get good damage on me. So I'm just going to see if I can pin him with LG, get some rocket spam onto him, get some Tri-Bolt onto him, see what's going on the map. Flush him out of the map. So that way he's weak, or if he's not weak, he's certainly a lot weaker than he would have been if I hadn't got all this damage. And I'm still going to be 100 when it's all said and done. You got to remember, I'm 93 armor at the moment, so if I pick up red armor, you know what I mean, I'm only getting 75 armor out of it, or 80 armor out of it, whatever it is. So let's get some damage, and then let's play from there. Let's see what happens. So out to center map, heard him go through the teleporter, push in with LG. Just hold LG out for that split second in case he is full charge, and then you can pin him in there. If he's not, then you got time to switch to your Tri-Bolt. I wouldn't recommend using your Tri-Bolt to begin with in case he's full charge. Just use your LG to begin with, and then switch to it afterwards. But yeah, beautiful damage. Right, now we're just trying to hold him up for mega, get damage on it. Oh, good. Remember, I come this way so that if he went to heavy machine gun and come back towards LG again, I'll just shoot the Tri-Bolt again. Then he went on the jump pad and I thought I'd get damage towards rocket. Yeah, beautiful. Now I can get red armor. Okay, he didn't hurt me any, so that's fine. Now I can pretty much just charge. If I was quicker on that, it would have killed him outright. Probably a little bit of that was around the corner for him. But whatever. And now he's dead. Beautiful. And then, also important, especially when you get a kill like that, you know you're going to be a little bit mad out. Don't fuck around and wait on mega. I see so many guys on that spawn fuck around and wait at mega, and then you just charge him with a shotgun. Okay, it's a bit harder now that shotgun's not as strong as it used to be, but push forward. Get some early damage on him with the Tri-Bolt here. Because when it hits him full in the face when he's charging with his shotgun, he's just thinking, well, that guy is just too good for me. Nothing you can do. And I remember watching this back on his stream. The only reason the Tri-Bolt didn't hit him is because he spammed his free spawn key and jumped up in midair before he fucking had the chance to come towards me. Otherwise, he'd have a face full of Tri-Bolt, and then I'm backing off and he's thinking, fuck, Cam's too good. I changed your trajectory on the aim. And now he can't attack, he's scared to attack. Go for a bit of cheeky damage even. We'll go back and watch that sequence again. But just pay attention to how I'm looking for damage after I got this green armor. And then I realise he's not at red. Just make sure he's not at red and then go for your damage. Hear him. Switch to LG like I said. Nice Tri-Bolt. So 60 damage. $90 damage. 145 damage. And then I can just push him and kill him. Because he's piss weak now. Whereas imagine you hadn't gone for that damage, and by the time you get red armor and come through the teleporter, he's already sat top mid with his mega, with his LG, with his rocket launcher. So he's going to be 225 health. He's got the green behind him, so even if you do get some good damage on him, he's just going to fall back, grab that and health bubbles. That's an extra 100 health on top. You can't really kill him because he's in a strong position now, and he's got all the weapons and all the health that he needs to be able to pin you into your spot. You kind of have to play for chip damage after that because you can't full rush. You're not strong enough. He's too strong. So yeah, just learn from that clip because I got that extra 150 damage, and that meant when I finally pushed in, he only had 100 health. And to be honest, he got lucky to get the amount of damage that he got on me, in my opinion, because I could have killed him outright when he got around the corner with the LG. Okay, probably on his screen that was a little bit long range LG, that's fine. But, imagine I was earlier on the tri-bolt, on that tri-bolt that I shot here. Imagine I was earlier and just shot it straight away, instead of having my rockets out. He would just be outright dead to me tri-bolt, and he didn't even hardly see me. So, I remember on his stream he's raging about that, but the fact is we watch it back. So when you're on his stream, you got to give someone an excuse, of course. Like I'm the same, so I don't blame him for that. But we watched this back together, and he said, "Yeah, it was just a good play. I didn't really have a chance." Like I said, that tri-bolt towards rocket, that's when he knew too good because that was just, it was just the icing on top of the play. And it was beautiful play because he didn't have a chance to hurt me, and I got 150 damage on him for nothing. And all the while, I'd see a lot of other guys just camping at red armor. And I always say this to a lot of guys, you're 100 and, what was I when I started fighting? Yeah, so like 120, 80, so it was like 200 health, right? But I say to a lot of guys, in the situations that we're in, it was 200 health, but it may as well have been 2,000. He never had the chance to hurt me, he couldn't kill me. So I always say on BC, a lot of guys drop down for the red armor when they're 100, and the other guy's got no weapons, and they're at mega and you can get some damage on them, and they're going to get red armor. But the fact is, it may as well be, you've got 100, it may as well be 1,000. He can't deal 200 damage to you, so it doesn't matter how much health you've got. You get the red armor later. Get your damage now while he has nothing, while he's under the pump, and while he doesn't want you to go for damage. Don't fuck around waiting on red armor, and then he's got rocket launcher this is BC I'm talking about. He's got rocket launcher or rail pinning you in at red armor. Just flush him out of the map, destroy the cunt, and then play from there. It's so much easier. It's the same situation here. Don't just sit on red armor and let him get rockets, LG, mega, maybe top green if he was quick, and back to top mid to cut you off. Because then you've got a fight on your hands. And this is actually even more important against strong players than it is against weaker. Because when strong opponents have all these things, these weapons, these armors, they're fucking hard to kill. Even for the best players in the world, they're fucking hard to kill. So don't allow that. Anyone with machine gun, the better players are still better with machine gun, but even a shell with LG or rockets in the right situation against a machine gun, the other guy's dead. You know what I mean? So take advantage of the weapons, take advantage of the surprise factor that you have, because this is again one of the intangible factors I'm talking about in these situations, where these guys, they're not used to being harassed on this sort of situations. They're used to saying, oh, Cam's at red, he's just sitting at red, I can go get all this shit, and I can pin him at red, I'll smash him when he comes through the teleporter. No, you fucking won't. I'll smash you before you get everything, and then if you still want to challenge me after all that, you'll be dead instantly. So that's the big difference in the way Fraser and I try and approach the game compared to what I see a lot of, certainly intermediate players, even like quite high level players, they're sitting on red here, and it's garbage. Because you're just allowing your opponent so much space, so much freedom on the map, when you don't have to do that. Like I said, 200 health in that situations that we were in, it may as well have been 2,000. He cannot kill you. So, and that's even going back to the same mathematics we were talking about before. Okay, he didn't deal shit, he did hardly any damage at all to me. But even if he had dealt 100 damage to me, I still would have been, extremely healthy. Because, if he dealt 100 damage from where I was, let's have a look. 100 damage from here, I'm still going to get red armor, so I'm still going to be 100 armor, so I'm going to, and then I'm going to be able to get health bubbles and shit as well. You know what I mean? So, minimum 100 when I go to attack him, and I finished on fucking, when I killed him, I finished on 58, 70, you know what I mean? And I started the fight on 200, so he hurt me 100, so I'll be 100 health here still. And then I'll push forward for this damage. This is actually a crucial part of the play as well. You must do this. I see so many guys, And now with the LG, it's probably okay. Honestly, it is probably okay to sit on Mega with LG, even on low health. But if he switches to machine gun, he's in lower mid here. He can deal 50, 60 damage at least before Mega spawns. So if you're not that strong, you can die. Whereas if you're 60 health and you push to here like I am, and get a good tribal onto him, a bit of heavy machine gun or whatever you want to do, switch to rockets if he's jumping forward, then you can kill him fresh stack. And it's a beautiful time to kill him because then you get Mega, they're going to spawn at rockets, you get the green, and then you can attack red. And he's got to fucking charge you hard with rockets. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible for him to kill you, it's going to be very difficult. I remember Frey's played Dandy King on this, and he got Dandy King with 105 tribal in this exact situation. And that's when I knew he was going to win that tournament that he won, because it's just like, it was just beautiful damage, and it's just like, no one else in Australia except for Fraser and I are really going for this kind of spawn phase. And I always laugh that the reason why we know how to defend yourself against every spawn is because, even on extremely low health, is because when we play each other, we do nothing but rage charge the whole time. So you know exactly how to defend every spawn, and you know exactly what to do off of every spawn too. But anyway, that's probably going to be the end of the lesson, boys. But that video ended up going a little bit longer than what I expected. But they're two important situations that I think you can really learn a lot from. And yeah, I just wanted to go through that for you. I've got some other VODs that I want to do. I've got some games I played against Knight OCE, so I did pretty well against him. But you know, I'll probably upload some of them at some stage, maybe. I've still got the VODs, but other than that, yeah. I'll try to make some more videos, but I hope you like this one. I think this is important in the game, just to go over these two specific situations a lot, because they are recurring themes in your game. You get them at least 2 or 3 times a map. And I see so many players playing it completely wrong, even at the highest level in Australia, playing it completely wrong, and then they wonder why the other guy killed them, even though they just got a kill, and then they're making it hard for themselves because they're not flushing out the map. Anyway, that's the end of the video, boys. I'll see you in the next one. Leave a comment below what you reckon, and then yeah, let me know, and I'll continue making content for you. Thank you.